So, very warm welcome back. Now it's the time. The time has come to talk with my guests here in the studio about this topic. So let's do the deep dive. I would like to welcome Volker Selk from IST Metz once again here next to me. Then Roland Schröder from the Huber Group. Hello. And Stefan Feil from IST. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, I can do so. Thanks. So my name is Stefan Feil, as already mentioned. I'm responsible at IST for the pre-development, business development and application side, and that's why I'm here.
Yes, and Roland Schröder is externally connected. Would you also like to introduce yourself? I think you're muted. Unfortunately, I can't hear you.
I can hear you.
No, I can hear you. No. Perfect.
Warm welcome from Munich. My name is Roland Schröder. I'm the product manager UV by the Huber Group, and it's a pleasure for me to be a part of the UV days.
So, guys, let's do the deep dive right now. Newspapers are, of course, a mass product, and the production has to take place in a very short time, right? So how long does it take to produce a newspaper?
It's not easy to answer, of course, because it depends as usual, but in reality, it's practically very clear. Making a newspaper actual means print at the latest possible moment. So it's very common to have a newspaper printed at, let me say, the late shift, somewhere between 9 o'clock in the evening and approximately midnight or 1, 2 o'clock-ish, to make sure that it's ready out of the customer at 5, 6 o'clock.
But generally spoken, is a newspaper, or can a newspaper be produced in a shift?
Not really. They are normally produced in the nighttime. Daytimes are only used for pre-setting and things like that on the press.
Okay, got it. So perhaps one question for Roland. Has the process of producing an edition changed in the recent years?
Yeah, I think the main changing thing is time pressure, cost saving, the speed of printing, and also the quality of thinking of the end users.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Stefan, do you agree?
Yes, I think we also have to mention that in total the process was changing from letterset to offset. We print now dry and wet offset, but on the end we talk about quality printing, and this is the step forward.
Yes, exactly. And UV and LED also, of course, enables the production of commercials. Can this be done on a newspaper printing press without any loss of quality?
I would definitely confirm it from my side. I mean, as Stefan already mentioned, those presses are high-quality presses. They are printing absolutely accurate, and this is what you need to have in order to print also a real high-quality commercial on the machine.
So, Roland, how are high-quality commercials produced today?
Yeah, and with high-quality commercials were printed normally in heatset or sometimes also in sheetfed, and magazine covers with paper or boards over 100 gram per square meters are printed in sheetfed, and they go after then in the post press and will be finished.
Mm-hmm. So is UV and LED equipment only possible for new machines?
Absolutely not.
No?
It can be installed, of course, on new machines, but it's also a possibility to retrofit existing machines, which can create much more revenue afterwards.
So, Stefan, what do you have to consider when installing later?
If we do the retrofit, we really have to ensure that there's enough space left within the machine to bring the LED or the UV directly into the machine, and we also have to consider the web pass, because if you once have printed on one side, you cannot get in touch with rollers when to divert the web, and this is very important. But another very important thing is safety issue, because we also have to get light protection therein, and we have to interlink the hardware with the machine.
But how does it work? Like, I mean, will the entire press will be converted, or only some parts of it?
In principle, this is some parts, some main parts. As said, the dryer has to be installed, but we really also have to think. UV chemistry is a little bit different to conventional chemistry. We have to think about, for example, rollers and blankets. Yeah.
So, to all of you, what is your experience with the integration?
In a regard of what now? The integration is possible.
Is it possible just like that?
It's possible like that, but it requires know-how how to do it. I mean, it's sophisticated machines which you need to technically fully understand, and that's why we have our technical team, which is doing a super job. I would not call it easy, definitely not, but we know how to do it, and
This
if you
makes
know
it
how
easy.
to do it, it becomes easy.
Okay, so Roland, I need, of course, special colors, right, for UV and LED printing. What is the difference? What is most different about these inks?
The cold-set inks cannot be compared with LED UV inks because the substrate is fundamentally different. Chemicals completely other by cold-set inks and also by LED UV inks or UV inks in general. Cold-set inks dry physically and can therefore only be used on absorbent substrates. LED UV inks can be used principally on almost of all kinds of substrate, coated and uncoated. And the drying effect, the curing effect with LEDU dryer is very quickly, and you can move to the further process as soon as possible.
Okay, yeah, makes totally sense. And when you decide to change to UV and LED printing, do you also have to change the printing process?
Yes, of course. A complete new calibration curve is necessary and must be created by in the prepress center, and also the dot gain is completely other by UV inks, and when you compare this with conventional cold set inks, and the ink profiles and also color shade are others by UV. Also, the run-up curves must be readjusted because ink water behavior is completely different against cold settings. And also some machine settings have to be adjusted because paper tension is quite different, but this looks a lot of. It's more or less easy to handle with the right partner on your side.
So how much more does it cost in comparison to normal inks to use such special inks?
This is a $1 billion question for each ink manufacturer and for each salesman. I think the biggest mistake is to compare ink cost from cold set inks and UV inks, LED UV inks. But the raw material side and raw material costs and also production is completely other. I think the user must know when he create a business case, they can open the door for a new business segment. The normally user will not switch from their current products from cold set to UV. He want to be printing high quality jobs from a new business field.
Okay, I understand. You don't really want to tell us how much it costs, but you have to insist right now. Can you give us an example, perhaps, of the costs?
I can say factor 7 is UV inks more expensive as cold set inks, but it depends from quality of the used inks.
Okay, with this answer I can work. So which speeds can be achieved on the machine with UV and LED?
Well, speed at the end of the day is a function of energy and time. Currently, we do have installations which are running in speeds of 15 meters per second. So we have roughly 1/100th of a second to cure per lamp unit. This is 1/10 of an eye blink. So a rather short time, really speedy process.
Quite fast, right?
This is very fast, and I have to admit this is quite an optimal situation. on the end, it depends on the coloring. So means the more colors involved, the slower you can really run. This is an ideal situation but it represents typically newspaper printing.
Yes, and efficiency is one major topic, of course. Recycling and sustainability is the other one. So it's a big issue in commercial and newspaper printing. Can UV newspapers be recycled? Roland?
Yeah, yes, of course, it's possible, and I have prepared a presentation for you.
Oh, good news.
Yeah, well,
Perfect.
more or less.
So, so we give you the time to prepare. In the meantime, I can do a brief wrap up because you already experienced a lot, right? You convinced yourselves of the innovation and quality of IST Maths, and